You are the real motherfucking Grip Crow! Thank you so much for being here with me tonight. Man, this one is big. It is long overdue. This is a big one. This is a real big one, especially for me. Tonight, welcome back. First of all, welcome back to Dark Reflections. Tonight, Crypt Crew, we are talking Bodom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood. What up, Crypt Crew? So I just needed to jump in here real quick, make a first edit to a video in a very long time. Throughout the rest of this Dark Reflections, you're going to hear me reference the fact that part of the reason why this video took so long to get out is because I didn't have a physical copy yet. Napalm Records was experiencing a huge shipping delay. This record was released through Napalm. Definitely blame it on COVID. But you're going to hear me reference the fact that I don't have a physical copy yet a couple times in the video. In this little section here that I'm replacing right now that I actually cut out was really kind of explaining all that. Well, since recording the rest of this, I received the pre-order. So I have it here. I want to show you guys the merch and encourage everybody to pick it up. I got the deluxe edition Paint the Sky with Blood box set. Pop this bad boy open, and this fucking phenomenal Paint the Sky with Blood t-shirt. Absolutely amazing. I love it. With this box set, you get a copy of the CD. Absolutely beautiful. Comes with a booklet and everything. Phenomenal. You also get a couple other cool things. You get some cool pictures. Oh, this one's got Bodom After Midnight in the back, but these two sick ass pictures. You get this dope ass fucking Bodom After Midnight patch, and this beautiful Bodom After Midnight pendant. Absolutely phenomenal. But final icing on the fucking cake. One of my favorite pieces of merch to get, you know, from any band, especially one with artwork that I fucking love. This insane, amazing motherfucking Bodom After Midnight flag. Yeah, it's fucking great. I love it. It's going up on the ceiling. And when we get into a more permanent space, it'll always be on display there as well. But I wanted to jump in here real quick, show this shit. You guys know I hate doing reflections, Dark Reflections without the physical copy in hand. It had just been like weeks and weeks and or a month pretty much. It took pretty much over a month extra time to get here. But when I finally got it the other day and I realized, fuck, I haven't released that video yet. Shit. I'm gonna have to cut some of it out and put something else in. So that's what this is right here, and I just wanted to show that stuff off. And man, I can't get enough of this album even still. So hope you all enjoy the rest of this episode of Dark Reflections. Raise your fucking horns for Alexi. Hate Crew for life. Love y'all. Without further ado, let's dive in here. Because this is a really big one for me personally. Anybody that's been watching this at all this year knows Alexi Laiho, who we lost on December 29th, 2020, was my single biggest influence, hero, everything. Like he from the music that I listen to, the fact that I play guitar, the way that I dress, like so many things. I have mimicked, I guess, after Alexi Laiho, because he has just always been like my idol. Like he's just, I've always just, the first time I ever saw the video, I think the first Children of Bodom video I ever saw was In Your Face, and I was like, who the fuck is that? Like, it just blew me away. He just blew me away from the first time I ever saw him. And I never missed a Children of Bodom show in Michigan from like 2007 or 8. The first time I ever saw him was on the Blood Drunk tour at Clutch Cargo's in Pontiac, Michigan. For any of you diehards out there here in Michigan that remember that venue, it doesn't even exist anymore. I haven't missed a Bodom show in Michigan since then. So if any of you watching this live in Michigan and went to Bodom shows in between fall of 07 or 08 to now, I was at that show with you. 100%. I never missed one. They were one of those bands for me that was just a constant, you know what I mean? An absolute constant. So this, talking about this EP is it's a big one for me. It's heavy. It's got a lot of weight to it for sure. But let's get into it. This EP by the band Bodom After Midnight, titled Paint the Sky with Blood, was released through Napalm Records on April 23rd, 2021. And I actually just found out that there are 3 tracks on this EP. All 3 were recorded in November 2020. So barely 6 months after they were recorded, they got released. The artwork that you just saw, go back and look at it. I wish I could hold it up and point it out to you right now so bad. You have no idea. But it's amazing, amazing artwork. And one thing I didn't notice until a little bit later was that in the foreground, right at the bottom middle of the image, there's actually a scythe on the ground. A scythe on the ground. Like, that is so fucking cool to me. And not only that, notice that they use the all red color scheme, which is, of course, what Children of Bodom started with. So I think there's a little correlation there. Pretty cool. Actually, I really like that juxtaposition, if you will. Let's get into a quick. I'm sure everybody watching this already knows, but let's get into a quick little thing. So of course, Children of Bodom existed many years. But after guitarist Ropa leaving in 2015, Daniel Freiberg joins the band in 2016. And then they released Children of Bodom's last album ever, titled Hexed. Amazing album, absolutely incredible. But then they released that in 2019. Later in 2019, Children of Bodom announces they are disbanding. They're breaking up. They're no longer a band, leaving Alexi Laiho and Daniel Freiberg to form Bodom After Midnight with, and I'm so sorry if I get any of these names wrong, okay? I'm so bad with names, and these are hard ones, all right? But I'm going to do my fucking best, okay? So Alexi and Daniel formed Bodom After Midnight with bassist Mishaja Tavonen, drummer Valtteri Viernen, and on keyboard Vili Itapaletto. Itapaletto. That's the best I can do. I'm so sorry if I messed up any of your names. I'm sure I messed them all up. But so that is Bodom After Midnight, and that is actually one of the big things that because I did a reaction video for the title track and the first single and the only video to be released off of this EP, Paint the Sky with Blood. I noticed there were keyboards in the song, but after I did the reaction, I realized, wait, there was no keyboardist in the video. Who's the keyboardist? It's Vili. It's Vili. I'm not even going to try, but it's Vili. And they do an incredible job. Incredible job. And so that is definitely one thing that I noticed after I did that first reaction video, that I was like, hang on, I missed something. But yeah, so that is Bodom After Midnight. And And that is like kind of how we got from Children of Bodom to Bodom After Midnight. And another thing about, so of course the first track, the title track, the first single, and the only track to have a video, Paint the Sky with Blood. One thing about that video is that it was recorded 10 days before Alexi passed away. And it's been a really, I'm sitting here right now recording this almost 6 months after he passes, and it has changed my life so much. And so, like, he is now a permanent fixture behind me at all times in the crypt. It is still affecting me every single day in a very real way. Like, I think about it constantly every single day. So this going into these tracks right now, this is something because I've listened to these tracks, these 3 tracks, this Bodom After Midnight EP, Paint the Sky with Blood. It's 3 tracks long, 2 originals and 1 cover. The cover is Where Dead Angels Lie by Dissection originally. And the 2 originals are Paint the Sky with Blood and Payback's a Bitch. These tracks have been on just repeat. Like, I've listened to this thing so many times. If I had the CD and I was listening to it on CD, the laser would have probably burnt scratches in it already. It's insane. Apparently there were no other, like, unfinished recordings or anything like that, according to Daniel Freiberg, at least for Bodom After Midnight. So, this is it. This is the swan song. This is Alexi's final work. So, without further ado, let's dive in. First up, Paint the Sky with Blood. To me, probably my favorite on the album. Definitely the one I've heard the most. It is like it's hard to describe. It's like a best of to me. And what I mean by that is Alexi, to me, over the years has developed so many signature things, like the screams, the gang vocals, the flipping the guitar around the body, certain certain notes that he plays. Certain guitarists, you can hear them in an instant, like they just have a thing, like the groove of a Mark Morton, or the wah of that squeal of a Zakk Wylde. There's so many. There's so many on the tip of my tongue right now that I'm not thinking of. But there's guitarists that have those things. Alexi had so many of those things for me. And so this Paint the Sky with Blood song really, in a lot of ways, feels like he took all that stuff that he developed over the years and just put it into one song. And in a lot of ways, a lot of it's in Payback's a Bitch too, honestly. But I do feel like Paint the Sky with Blood is a lot more of Payback's a Bitch is maybe like a little bit of a different style than Paint the Sky with Blood, and I feel like Paint the Sky with Blood is a more, like, I guess if you would say, a traditional Alexi song, kind of, you know what I mean? Like a more, to me, this song would have fit perfectly released as a single in between Are You Dead Yet and Blood Drunk. Like that era kind of Children of Bodom, but yet with additional stuff too, with like added like kind of intensity, kind of like a new ferociousness, a new because he's changed his voice so much since then, and this voice on Bodom After Midnight is quite a bit different than what he even did on Hex the last Children of Bodom album, there's so much going on. Like, there's an evolution, but yet there's familiarity, and it's all new, and it still feels fresh. It kept you guessing. The riffing was just jaw on the floor. The solo is by far the best solo I have heard. I'm definitely this year. I can't think right now on last year, but possibly in the last 2 years, the best solo I've heard. Unbelievable. Just fucking the gang vocals, the screams, yeah, everything, because he did the scream on the intro and the outro, the guitar flip in the video. It's unfucking believable that this all took place 10 days before he passed. And not only all that, the lyrics on this song are some of my, like, really, like, some of my favorite he's probably ever written, especially the hook with the three Furies from Greek mythology. Like, that shit has been stuck in my head since this song came out. You know, like, that hook is undeniable. And I would say the same with Payback's a Bitch, but I would say it's more the riff is the hook in that one. So many great riffs in Payback's a Bitch. Like, it's, and the more gang vocals, more screams, and, you know, like, the third track, the Dissection cover, you know, that's a cover. So these two tracks are really what we have as any sort of indication of musical direction that Bodom After Midnight was going to take. And this being the indication, I mean, this is, you know, what have we had the last few years? You know, what have we, Bodom After Midnight was following in track with a lot of the bands that we've talked about the last few years on on our album of the year list, the Filthy 15 list. You know, in the last few years we've had, you know, Slipknot, that new album, the Cattle Decapitation album, Verminous Black Dahlia Murder. These albums to us have been examples of these bands that have developed great sounds, but now they took it to another level. They stepped up. They went a direction no one saw coming, but it worked in a way that not only no one saw coming, but like is like magical. Like is like some of the best work they've ever fucking done. And that is exactly how I feel this full-length Bodom After Midnight album would have been, based on these two tracks alone. The direction that they appeared to be going in, the structure, the talent, the raw talent that Alexi put together. Of course, we all knew Daniel Freiberg was an amazing guitarist from Hexed, the Children of Bodom album Hexed. But, you know, if that was your introduction to him. But, you know, the bassist, the keyboardist, the drummer, they are unfucking real on these two tracks. Absolutely amazing and absolutely fit in with Alexi. Seamless. It felt like it was a seamless transition musically, and that's insane. It was so phenomenal, and in what I just, that's the hard part, is what I imagine it would have been so incredibly special. It would have been my album of the year. I can already say, probably no question. Absolutely. The Dissection cover I want to get into real quick. It's interesting to me. This one was interesting to me because Dissection is a band I wasn't too familiar with, but then I heard they were doing the cover, so I listened to the song and then listened to a few more songs. I'd never heard a band that predated Bodom that sounded that much like Bodom. I was like, oh my god, I found one of their, like, I knew, you know, they list their influences, but like, I'd never heard a band that predated them that sounded anything like them at all. And I found similarities in them, and I was fascinated by it. Especially to hear this cover, because Children of Bodom is one of my favorite. Their covers are some of my favorites of all time. Every time they do a cover, I like it more than the original. Every fucking time. Now, here's the thing about their covers. A lot of their covers aren't metal. There are other genres of music. So they turn them into metal. And by virtue of doing that, they do something that I call eyes them. Children of Bodom eyes them. Okay? Whenever a band does a cover, but they make it their own, they put their own twist on it, to me, they're like whatever band name eyesing it, right? They're like putting their thing on it. There's two ways to do a cover. That's one. The other way is a carbon copy cover. Let's just sound as close to the original as we can, right? Children of Bodom eyesed them. Alexi Laiho eyesed the covers. But they also rarely did metal covers. Now they're doing a full-on metal cover with a band that predates Children of Bodom, that sounds similar. This is probably the most metal, like the most metal cover I've ever heard Alexi do, and definitely the most carbon copy cover I've ever heard Alexi do. Having said that, still like it better than the original. His voice on this, the tone of the instruments and everything, the way he blended it, just really, really phenomenal. And I feel like is another example of how this was going to be a real next chapter for him in a lot of ways. That, it really, I was really, really looking forward to hearing it, and I was really absolutely floored by the direction that they took. They really, they went more the carbon copy route, but any little change up that they did make just added to it and made it so much, to me, more full and sort of realized in a way, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, this, I mean, man, this one would have been, this one really would have been one of, an album that, I already know this would have been an album that really gripped me. It's one of those things. This is why, to me, at least, personally, after COVID is done or whatever, and we can go back to concerts, there's no such thing as going back to normal anymore, because normal for me is every 2 years or so, sometimes even twice in 1 year, seeing Children of Bodom or seeing Alexi Laiho live on stage. And that's no longer going to be possible. And so things will, for me as a fan, never be normal. And I know millions of people and anybody that watching this right now that was a fan, it'll never be the same way for you again. I know the same as for me. But this is what we as fans do. This is what the metalheads do. This is what the diehards do. We make sure our heroes never die. We make sure they live on through us, and we carry their names and make sure everyone we know knows who they are until the day we fucking die. And we already declared this year on the podcast, 2020 was the year of the blah. This year is the year of Alexi. And I've been talking to every guest we have on, and I will continue to talk to every guest we have on. I'll ask them about Alexi. We recently guested on the Michigan UFO Sightings and Paranormal Encounters podcast. Aaron and I did last week. Be sure to check them out. Huge shout out. I even talked about Alexi on that episode. So yeah, I intend on doing everything I can to just carry his name on in the best way I can. And that's what we got to do as fans. That's what we got to do as fans is keep him alive for us. And you know, another thing, you know, I recently saw, can't remember if it was Yene or Yanka. I can't remember who it was in the band in Children of Bodom, but they had they do have Children of Bodom still has a merch site. You can still go get officially licensed Children of Bodom merch. And they recently found like a box of those like roadkill photo books in like an old storage box, so they put them up for sale on the website. So, you know, just saying, they were banned for 10, 20, 25, in between 25 and 30 years. Yeah, because I saw them on the 25th anniversary tour, actually. But they were banned for in between 25 and 30 years. You know, just saying, who knows? Maybe someone digs through a storage unit one day and finds some old unreleased recordings of demos or something that can be cleaned up and turned into something that we've never, you know, who knows? Who knows? Maybe I'm secretly have my fingers crossed that maybe one day we will, you know, hear some unreleased stuff or something, because that would be, so, you know, maybe this isn't the end completely. That's what I secretly hope for, I guess. But, you know, without question, I think we're about to see the next step in, you know, how do I want to say this? Alexi wasn't out of his prime yet. Clearly, he still had so much more to put out and to give to all of us fans. You know, this is you know, I'm sitting here talking about 2 original tracks that on a 3-track album that I think would have shaped up to be, in my opinion, the best album of the year. This is not our hero going out on a down note, that's for sure. He went out on top. And at least we can say that you know, Alexi was a fucking god till the end, and now it actually is one. So, you know, yeah, this was a tough one for me, guys. This was a tough one for me to do, because it really is still affecting me in a big bad way. Every day, actually, you know, maybe it's just because of quarantine. We're also kind of locked in a little bit and all this and that, but you know, I watch his videos every day. I play his songs on the guitar every day. Like it's really like a constant thing for me, and has been since the start of the year. And I really so fucking badly wish I had all the physical copies all the physical shit that I ordered to show you guys right now. Hopefully, maybe it'll come out before I decide to release this. And I'll be able to add a tag on or something at the end or whatever. But, if not, please, like, if for no other reason than to see that, just check us out on Instagram. I'll post it all on there, definitely. Our Instagram is where I'm by far the most active, for sure. That's, honestly, yeah, that's probably going to be about it for this episode of Dark Reflections, my friends. Man, these 2 tracks to me speak more volume than whole albums I've heard in my life by far. They've really had a big impact on me, and all of this has. It's changed me in a lot of ways, and you know, let's as fans, it's up to us, right? It's up to us to keep our fucking idol alive to everyone we know forever. All right? So, comes down to us now. And it comes down to us to just keep sharing and keep loving all of the art that he gave us. And everybody that's watching this right now that isn't, please join the group Bodom After Midnight on Facebook, the Facebook group. Wonderful group. Like, it really has helped me a lot over the past few months, or 6 months, I guess, almost now, of people just sharing their stories, their memories, talking about meeting him, sharing pictures of seeing him live and all that stuff. Like, it really is awesome and a really wonderful group, so I highly recommend it. Shout out to everybody in the Bodom After Midnight group, if any of you see this. But that is going to probably be about it for this episode of Dark Reflections. However, Alexi will be a theme, probably much longer, but definitely throughout the rest of this year on this podcast. I will be bringing him up as often as possible, and that's definitely going to be a big thing for the rest of the year on this podcast because, I lost, and there's many of you that might be watching this as well. I lost my idol right at the beginning of the year, and it's been tough. But with the help of you guys, the Crips Crew, with the help of the Bodom After Midnight group, with the help of his music, it has helped me through. Bodom After Midnight. Be sure to pick up merch. Be sure to get the album, get the physical copy. Get the fucking flags, the fucking t-shirts, everything. Support the Children of Bodom site as well. Support those guys. They got some great officially licensed merch on there that is high quality. Highly recommend it. But yeah, links in the description below to websites, to everything, to order stuff, to the songs. Buy it, stream it, YouTube it, share it. Bodom After Midnight. Paint the sky with blood, people. Paint the sky with blood. Bodom After Midnight was released on April 23rd. I cannot recommend it enough. It is my favorite music that has been released this year so far. And I listen to it every day. More than once. Since it came out. So I can't recommend it enough. Every time I hear it, it just fills me with joy. Gets me so excited and pumped up. I can't tell you how much I love it. So I hope all of you check it out. I hope all of you love it as much as I do. This was a big one for me personally. So we will be doing stuff about them in the future for sure. But, everybody check out Bodom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood. And rest in power to our God, Alexi Laiho. You will never be forgotten. That is going to wrap this one up, I think. I'm sure as soon as I hit end, there's going to be a ton of stuff that I remember that I forgot to say, as always, but I'm sure I'll get it in future episodes. But that'll be it for this one, everyone. Thank you so fucking much for watching this episode of Dark Reflections. You have no idea what that means to me because of how big this one was for me personally. If you're still watching this, you are my fucking hero. And please, just to let me know, leave some horns down in the comments. That's it. That's all. Just maybe a like, some horns down, whatever. I don't need anything. Just let me know you're seeing it. That'd be awesome to let me know there's some other Bodom and Alexi fans out there watching this with me too. But yeah, that'll be it for this one. As always, people, as always, Crypt Crew, that shit was the mad notes. The maddest of notes. The maddest notes of all fucking time. You are the real motherfucking hate crew. You are the real motherfucking Crypt Crew. Where do you think we got it from? That's gonna be it. That's gonna be it for this one, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. Means the fucking world. We got a ton more coming. A lot very soon. Lots more Dark Reflections. Lots more episodes in the pipe. Dropping very soon. please keep with us. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed Bodom After Midnight, Paint the Sky with Blood as much as I did. Be sure to check out links in the below for all things Bodom After Midnight. But until next time, everyone, you know what to do. Raise your fucking horns and bang your goddamn heads! We love you all to death! Good night!